So it's November 2022 and here is my savings update for this month. And there's a lot to share because a lot has happened over the last 30 days or so. In fact, I probably could have done a video every day with a new account that's come or a new account that's gone. But this is where we are right now. I'll take you through the best places for your money at the moment. And actually, it's worth starting off just talking about just quite how fast things are moving right now. That obviously is in response to the interest rate rise, the base rate interest rises that we've seen continuously over the last 11 months or so from the Bank of England, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. There is another one due on Thursday, another meeting, and it's very, very likely we'll see another increase. I will obviously update you here on the channel, let you know exactly what happens, what it means for your savings and your mortgages and your borrowing or things like that. But that's expected to be even higher. So some of the rates we're seeing right now could well have already priced in an anticipated increase. So there might well be that we don't see a huge amount of movement when this rate increase happens. Some of them might just be waiting and we'll see more movement over the coming weeks. But what has been happening and what is worth definitely sort of talking about is how fast that has been happening compared to the other increases we've seen over other months. Sometimes the account has launched and then within a couple of days, it's gone. Blink and you'll miss it. Sometimes, even if there's a date given that says this account is open to new applicants until a certain date, that hasn't even remained the truth. So one good example was at the middle of October, Santander launched a 2.75% paying easy access account, which at that point was significantly higher than what you could get elsewhere, which is truly easy access. I think it was around 2.1, maybe was the best you'd get to, maybe 2.3. This was jumped right up there to the top. So it was going to be available until the 1st of November. But within 6 days, they pulled it and replaced it with one paying 2%. So if you're waiting, I've got plenty of time to open it, you didn't have plenty of time, you would have missed out. And the reason for this is the reason why the rates do change so much as well is a lot of the time the bank or the building society, whoever it is providing these accounts, they want to be at the top of the list. They want to get a bit of attention. They want to say, hey, look at me. But they don't want to stay there too long because if they get too much attention, too many people putting their money there, then there's maybe too much risk for them. They've got a certain amount of money they want to raise and how much money they're going to pay on that money they raise. Once they've hit that, then they close it. So this has been happening, say, faster than any other month since I've been doing this. And this will continue, I think. So if you want to make sure, I'll talk you through the best accounts right now, the time I'm recording this. But if you want to make sure nothing better has come along, you need to head over to my website, tobecleverwithyourcash.com/savings. That is where you will find a daily updated list. Often twice, 3 times a day, I'm going in and making sure it is up to date of what's available out there. So yes, I'll take you through some ones I reckon you should look at right now and where the best things you should be aiming for. But absolutely, I'll be going over there. Remember, that's becleverwithyourcash.com/savings. So what has been going on? What can you expect for your money right now? One place where they've gone up and hopefully can stay up is regular savers. Now, last month I told you about some improvements to NatWest's 5.12% pay in regular saver, which is great. Definitely worth checking that out if you have a NatWest or RBS account. They both offer this one, but they've now been beaten. You can now get higher than that in a regular saver. You can get 5.25%. This is from Lloyds. This is available to you if you have a Club Lloyds current account. Spoken about that before on the channel. I've got a whole review you can check out. This is a pretty decent reward account because you get some nice freebies from it. You get cinema tickets or movie rentals or a magazine subscription. Nothing out of this world, but it's worth having it as part of your portfolio of current accounts if you're happy to have more than one account. You also they get access to, if you have this current account, say this 5.25% paying regular saver, which is fantastic. That is the top paying interest rate out there right now. Now this, as most regular savers are, will last you for 12 months. At the end of that 12 months, it will close. The most you can put into it is £400 every single month. That's the maximum, but you can obviously put in less if you want to. That's for Club Lloyds customers, okay? Brilliant one to go for. If you've got the account, recommend putting your money there. Lloyds also has another one for its normal current account customers. Just a monthly saver. This one pays less, but 4.5%. That ain't bad. That's better again than you're going to get in most other places. Only a handful will beat that. This one does require any account for a current account with Lloyds. But if you have that Club Lloyds account, and if you've got the money, you can have this in addition to the Club Lloyds monthly saver. So potentially, although there's only £250 you can put into it every single month, 400 have one, 650 quid every single month you can put in via Lloyds. Now, Bank of Scotland doesn't have a Club Lloyds version, but it does have that 4.5% paying regular saver. They're effectively the same bank, Bank of Scotland and Lloyds, all part of the same group. Does require a current account with them. Halifax, also part of that same group, also launched a 4.5% paying regular saver. Again, maximum 250 quid you can pay in every single month. What's different about this one is it doesn't require a current account. So you can just open this up if you do not want to have a Halifax current account, although I would suggest you look at the reward one. It's worth taking a look at. Gives you, again, £5 every single month if you jump through some hoops. But again, you don't have to have a current account. You could have this one. And again, you can have all of those ones as long as you have the right accounts that qualify. You don't have to stick to one of those each of the banks. So that is where we are on regular savers. Some really, really good movement there. Definitely ones to prioritize, I would say. Sticking with banks offering its current account customers a special rate, HSBC will let its current account holders have a 3% rate on their savings up to £10,000, which is pretty hefty if you think about compared to what we go to in a minute, some of the other easy access accounts. However, this one does come with a catch. Any month where you withdraw money, that rate drops down massively to I think 0.5%. So it's one to get if you don't think you're going to be accessing your cash very often at all. If you think it's emergency funds can sit there earning that money, then great. And of course, this isn't the highest paying one you can get out there. The Barclays one, which I talked about the other week, the Barclays Blue Rewards Rainy Day Saver, it's a bit of a mouthful. That one is paying 5.12% and up to 5k, and there's no restrictions on withdrawal. So that's obviously a better place for that initial sum and those regular savers. But this one isn't too bad. However, it's not too much above some of the other easy access accounts available right now. I mentioned at the top that Santander one, which came and went really, really quickly. But 2.75% is still available via Synergy Bank. Now they have, it was open to everyone and they pulled it back and it's only open to existing customers. However, a trick that I've used in the past, I can't try it right now just to check it works because I'm already a customer, so it wouldn't work for me. But when this happened before, an exclusive rate for existing customers, I opened up a different savings account with them, one that didn't have any requirements. I opened it up, didn't take long. The next day, I was able to, as an existing customer, open up their high-paying account. And I imagine that would happen again for you right now. So potentially, easy access with no limits, not more than 10k, that's absolutely fine. No restrictions on when you withdraw money. That one from Synergy, 2.75, that is your best bet. If that feels like a little bit too much hassle, you don't want to go through all that rigmarole of opening an account and then waiting and open up another one, then Marcus has just recently, just today in fact, increased its rate to 2.5%. Now this 2.5% includes a 1-year bonus of 0.25%. If you've had that before, that 1-year bonus, you've had the Marcus account in the past, you might not get that. Your rate might actually be 2.25%. So it's worth just considering, what are you getting? 2.25% or 2.5%? Depends, I say, if you've had that bonus. If you have had that bonus and that's not working for you, Atom have just increased theirs to 2.4% on their easy access. And there are little boosts on top of that if you want to put more money in a 7-day notice or 30-day notice period. Now, there is another account which does pay more than all of those. That is Al-Rayan, 2.81% you'll get there. There was briefly Gatehouse at 2.8% just below that, but that has disappeared. This one is a Sharia compliant account. Although it's not interest, it's an expected profit. You'll get your money. I wouldn't worry about that too much. But some people have, particularly on the Facebook group, people talk about they have issues maybe with accessing the money or how good it is in terms of the app and so on. And I haven't used it, I can't say for certain. But again, that is where you can get some top money. So they are the ones I would say look at right now for your easy access savings accounts. Again, I know I've gone through lots of accounts and you'll be saying, which one was it? I didn't quite hear you. Can you put some text on the screen? becleverwithyourcash.com/savings. That is where you will find all that information. And in fact, everything I'm talking about in this video as well will also be in my summary article for this month, which I will link to in the description below. So that will give you a little bit more analysis, a little bit more details about those specific accounts as well. Now, while we're on easy access accounts, it's also worth talking about Chase Bank. We've been waiting, as I'm sure many of you have, to see if they would increase their rates. When they launched that 1.5% rate earlier this year, it was head and shoulders above the rest. So a lot of you got that and put your money in there. And you've been thinking, as other rates have been passing it, getting higher and higher, you're thinking, surely Chase have got to do something. Because if you haven't already, you're thinking about moving your money. A lot of people have moved their money, but other people, no, they must do it. They've got to do it. These rates are increasing everywhere. Chase have got to do it. Well, finally they have. 24th of October, just a week ago from recording this, rates improved from that 1.5% where it had been for most of the year to 2.1%. Now, that's a big increase. But it's still, even when they announced that, below what you could get at maybe half a dozen other places. 2.81 with Al-Rayan, 2.75 with Synergy, 2.3, 2.4% available at a few other places, even 2.2. So it was a massive disappointment, I would say. They made the increase, but you can beat it in half a dozen other accounts. I would say, based on what we've got out there already, based on the fact that I'd like to see more movement, I would imagine over the coming days and weeks, again, as we have done over the last few weeks, move your money to a better paying account, as long as you've got a sizable amount. If you've only got a couple of £100 in there, it's not going to make much difference. But if we're talking thousands of pounds, that will be worth getting that higher rate. And in fact, I will do a video very, very, very soon helping you guide you when it's worth moving it, give you an example of exactly how much money you might be making if you make that move, so you can help make the decision if it's worth it. But yeah, disappointment from Chase. We saw some movement, wasn't good enough in my view. Maybe we'll see another one soon. You never know. It might be table topping again, but for the moment, there are better ones out there. Let's quickly talk about fixes because there's been a huge amount of movement there as well. Time of recording this, a 1 year fix. The best one is from Oxbury Bank, 4.65%. Big jump from where we were a month ago. Again, could go at any time. Other rates could jump past it. If you're happy with that one, maybe give that a go. Fixing, remember, for a year, you are locked away. Just below that, for 4.61% with my community bank. There's a number at 4.6% below that. For a 6-month fix, you can get 3.6% from ICICI via Raisin and 3.5% from Atom. And that's actually been quite a massive jump in the last few weeks. The best one a month ago was 2.65. So almost an extra percent added on top, that percentage point added on top for 6 months fixes. Another big increase we've seen is around lifetime ISAs. Probably the highest ever rate you would have got on a cash lifetime ISA is from Moneybox. They are paying 3% now. Should note this is for new customers. If you've had a Moneybox account in the past or got one right now and already have or are having a 12-month bonus of 0.25%, then that rate will drop down to 2.75%. But that's still head and shoulders above the rest. So if you have a cash ISA, I would definitely look about transferring that money across if you can. Just bear in mind that one has penalties, obviously. If you don't use it to buy your first home or take it out when you're 60, there is a penalty to withdraw the money. And that penalty will wipe out the bonus you get from the government, that 25% bonus from the government on balances of up to 4K every single year. That will be wiped out, plus more will be taken off there. So you've got to be sure that you are going to not need to access that money any other way. There's also been movement in normal cash ISAs, easy access ISAs. Marcus, who we mentioned earlier on in the normal easy access accounts, they're also offering 2.5% on their ISA. That isn't too bad compared. If you do have to pay tax on your savings, it's definitely worth having a look at that one. Sadly, it doesn't accept transfers in. And lastly, to tell you about prize draws. I know I talked about it. I wasn't a big fan of the Chip Saver prize draw account. They have increased the number of prizes available. Now that draw, obviously for November, you're too late for that one, but keep an eye on those. Potentially there might be more prizes in the one that runs next month in December. You just have to put your money in before the end of the month. If you want to learn more about that, do check out my update from last month. My name is Andy Webb. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you do hit subscribe, hit the like button, leave me a comment. All those things really help the channel. And check out these videos right here for more on your savings.